Good afternoon, Knicks Nation. Welcome to the Knicks channel that is about the Knicks and for the Knicks. If you're not for the Knicks and you interested in giving your negative opinion, you can get the flock out right now. I'm just letting you know. A lot of y'all hear that but don't catch the memo. Then I gotta make moves. Now, welcome Miss Lumley. Welcome Kabar Dobbins. Grand Rising Malik Shabazz. 2, Grand Rising Mike Miller. Sir Michael Servedio, sorry. V Spec V. Alfonso Who Cares, 6700. Bendicio. Jay Vendemio. Big Wood. Kendall Buchanan. Let's see. Corey Lindsay. James Dobson. Clint Stewart, my brother. Ron Cohen. Gabriel. Javon Cherokee Up. Fuego Fredo 52. Guilford McCormick. Ana Grill. Knicks, Giants, Rangers, Yankees. Good day to all of you. Let me just repeat myself just in case for those that came in late. Felice Lee. Hello, Miss Lee. Jabroni Z. What's up? Donald Ford 7952. Coach Hauser. Captain Howdy. Not Howdy Doody, but Howdy. You know Howdy Doody last night hit the running bucket for Chicago against our hated Celtics. That's Kevin Herter, in case you didn't know. He knocked down a 3-point in the corner with 0.2 seconds left. Game over. They beat the Celtics. The Knicks are now 1 game from the Celtics. Thomas Daisy, afternoon to you. Yep, Howdy did his business last night. I saw the end of that game. I saw the end of that one. Howdy Doody did his business last night. BQE, Brooklyn Queens Express for YFE. What's up? Hope y'all enjoy. Yes. So, again, let me just repeat myself so I don't have to keep repeating myself. I'm sorry, first of all, about all y'all dealing with that snow. Right now, where I'm at, it's 87 degrees and the real feel is 89. I was outside earlier and I'm enjoying myself, and I'm sorry. I don't feel bad for y'all. I don't feel bad for y'all. But listen, stay warm, stay safe, enjoy yourself. I'm going to sit here and drink my grape juice and enjoy myself in this 87-degree weather. Now, again, this channel is about the Knicks for the Knicks. All right, Malik, this channel is not by the fans and for the fans. So you come in here thinking you could express yourself negatively, you can get the flock out right now, because we're not having that at all. And you know, just before we get started here, I'm tired of all these short-sighted ass fickle fans, you know, calling for Mikal and Cat to be traded. What the hell is wrong with some people? First of all, if you recall, last year, the Knicks eliminated the Boston Celtics in 6 games with closing defense from one Mikal Bridges. Do y'all remember that? With closing defense from one Mikal Bridges. Okay? So all of a sudden, then Mikal was indispensable and all of this, and now he's, you know, please stop playing him. Please stop him. Stop shooting. This is what I call overly emotional and short-sighted. You know, if I was to say they acting like women, that would disrespect Ms. Lumley and Ms. Lee and Ms. Stevenson, because even they don't act like that. But let me say it's acting like some giggly 15-year-old girls. Let me put it that way. Some giggly, silly 15-year-old girls. You know what I mean? So look, this is the thing. In the beginning of the season, and I believe we all on the same page, right? Beginning of the season, we understood a couple of things. That the Knicks had a deep team. Aside from the guys we had from last year, We brought back Shamet, which I was telling y'all all summer this about. They're gonna be Shamet or Garrett? Come on, Shamet was coming back. I told y'all, Shamet was coming back. And if they added another guy aside from Shamet, Kolek was gonna be traded. I told y'all. So they got Shamet healthy. They got Deuce rolling. They got MitchRob in the position we thought he should be, coming off the bench and limiting his minutes. And look, MitchRob is right now, can we agree he's playing at his ceiling right now? MitchRob is playing at his ceiling right now. He's in his prime, and he's playing at his ceiling. The best offensive rebounder on planet Earth, period. Okay? Period. So we got what we've been looking for. The full contingent. See, Mike Brown was trying to prove he wasn't Tom Thibodeau, right? So he was going to play 9 and 10 and sometimes 11. And all of a sudden, that started kicking our behinds on the defensive end, if you've seen, right? Now, he shortened that rotation to 8. It's going to be 9 again. I'm not sure how he's going to handle Jordan Clarkson, because I told y'all in the beginning, Clarkson is going to be ready for the playoffs. And I thought Clarkson wasn't playing that bad. I mean, the combination with him and Kolek was bad. And that's what Brown was doing, combining Clarkson with Kolek. That was going to get diminishing returns eventually. But I don't think, Clarkson should be benched, but he's been benched. And this is the thing, though. Brown knows it's winning time. You heard what the boss said. Make this work. So he went Tibbsian on us. 8. Y'all seen that, right? By the way, did you see the tribute to Derrick Rose? Did y'all catch that? Ian Begley put some clips up. I was like, wow. And Tibbs, everybody was giving Tibbs his flowers as well. See, this is the thing. That's why a lot of people don't want to coach in New York, don't want to play in New York, because y'all some fickle ass people. That's why. One minute you the greatest thing since sliced bread when they hit a big shot, then the next minute we got to trade them. I mean, stupid. And anybody calling for Karl-Anthony Towns to get traded is a straight dumb ass. Somebody came on X about. They actually put Ian Begley's name to it. Karl-Anthony Towns for Triple J. Like, what the hell? I mean, come on, man. You so desperate for a damn click that you gonna put that up? And I asked him, I said, please miss me with this BS. Stop it. And they keep putting Raw Hebrew like, I want to see this. Some dumbass people, man. I mean, straight dumb asses. That's what I'm just saying. Please. They don't like when I say that, but I'm going to tell you how it is. Y'all know I ain't going to spare it. So, yeah, what the hell? See, that's what I'm saying. How could you take a guy? Look. Cat's been all NBA before he came to the Knicks. Cat had Minnesota in the Western Conference Final before he came to the Knicks. Okay? So Cat could ball. How do you take a guy that's all NBA, which is one of the 15 best players on planet Earth, who took his team to the Western Conference Finals, and all of a sudden now you want him traded? That goes to show you how sick people are in New York. They hate their own guys. So now it's Mikal Bridges. He had a couple of bad games. Now he's got to be traded. I mean, what the hell, man? First off, let's talk about the real. Right now, as far as solid three-point shooters, the Knicks have Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Karl-Anthony Towns, Jalen Brunson, and Josh Hart. Then Shamet and Deuce. That's 7. Now wait, what does that mean when you got 7 guys that can shoot the 3 like that? That means somebody like yesterday. Let's take the game against Philly. So Mikal wasn't shooting well. Karl-Anthony Towns back. If you recall, Karl-Anthony Towns was on questionable because of back spasm. And you could see it was affecting him yesterday. But of course, people don't see that. Okay, they only see he needs to be traded. Make the call, Leon. I'm sorry. Somebody make a call and get Bellevue for some of these dumb asses. That's what I'm saying. Somebody make the call and get Bellevue for some of these dumb asses. Pilgrim State somewhere. So Now, yesterday, Karl Anthony Towns wasn't hitting his. Deuce wasn't hitting his. Okay. Mikal wasn't hitting his. But because we got 7 dudes in the rotation, out of 8, we got 7. Even if you take Jordan Clarkson out of 8 dudes, we got 7 that are 3-point shooters. We had Shamet and Brunson, right? See, because you got so many that somebody's gonna come up. Deuce wasn't hitting his. Okay, Mikal wasn't hitting his, but here come OG, here come Brunson, here come Shamet, right? And so you had all 3 of them, and then OG. You had all 3 of them doing business yesterday. And look, why do people act like yesterday was the first time OG played the 5? Y'all do know that OG's been playing the 5 all year. That's why Hoop Party not getting PT. OG been playing the 5 all year. He been putting OG on 5s all season. Okay, it's just that this time he put OG on Embiid in the 4th quarter at crunch time, but it ain't the first time he has done that. OG can guard 1 through 5. We do know this, right? We do know he is as strong as a brick doo-doo house, and so he can guard Embiid, and as you saw yesterday, successfully down the stretch. See, he did it. And it ain't going to be the first or the last time you see that. He's going to do that some more. Why not? Why not? Okay. And I want you to know, even though Deuce was 1 of 8 from 3, the brother was +1. Now, how could he go 1 of 8 from 3 and still be +1? You know why? Because boy was playing some damn defense. That's why. That's why. See? So, brethren, the beauty of the team that we have is that you don't need the same guy to be hot every night. So they can key on Brunson if they want to. They can key on Mikal if they want to, or them cats could just be missing. But you got enough shooters to make up for that. Now, what else did you notice yesterday? Guess what? The ball was moving. The ball was moving. Did you see that? The ball with 27 assists, which is about what they was averaging before this recent debacle. The ball was moving. Okay, the ball was moving. They had the ball in Cat's hands when he was in the game. Cat fouled out early. And you know what? Listen, I don't mind Cat fouling out early. To me, it's more important. Let me ask you, is it more important that they play aggressive? See, the Knicks was playing physical yesterday. See, Philly came at them physical the first 2 games. You know what's crazy, too? The 2 games we lost to Philly, right, was the second night of a back-to-back. Both games. Second night of back-to-back. First time, Deuce didn't play. So that's a big loss, right? Second time was the second night back-to-back. It was tired, whatever. Do you realize we got to play these fools again on February 11th, the last game before the All-Star break? Second night of a back-to-back again. Look, we got to beat them, though. Second night of back-to-back or not. We got to beat their ass on February 11th, right? What y'all think? We got to beat their ass on February 11th. We got to let them know, regardless. Did y'all see Shamet yesterday? Yo, did you see that? It was easy. It was easy to read his lips. It was easy to read his lips. When he was coming up, as he hit that big 3, it was easy. Some from Brooklyn, thanks for the bones, man. The 10 bones. As you stated in the beginning of the season, we're trying to win a chip and you may need to shoot. Right? Exactly. Now, I will say this, what some from Brooklyn did say is absolutely correct, but I will say this. The Knicks are going to try to pick up another player that's going to take Yabusele's spot. Now, we all heard Yabusele's on the trade block, okay? Oh, you didn't hear what he said? He said something about MF, I'm back. That's what he said. He said, motherfucker, I'm back. That's what he said after he nailed that last 3. I'm motherfucking back. I was like, what? Go do your thing, my man. Go do your thing, Mr. Landry Shamet. And it's almost like people forgot how good he was. I mean, this ain't the first time this year Shamet was balling, right? This ain't the first time. Shamet dropped 36 on somebody. I think it was Miami. Someplace Shamet been killing people. It's just that he got hurt, and people forgot 36 games. They forgot. I was like, man, y'all forgot already. Some of these so-called fans are ridiculous, just straight ridiculous. So check it out. We got two guys in Shamet and Deuce that could step into the starting lineup anytime we're missing Mikal, which we ain't gonna be missing him, but I'm saying if we're missing OG or we missing Brunson or we missing Hart, yeah, those guys, you can have a Shamet or Deuce step in and do the thing, but they getting ready to add another piece. Now, I don't know what's going to happen with Clarkson. I really don't, because I don't understand. I understand, let me put it this way. I do understand why Brown benched him. And I want to say, it's not because he stink. Don't think that. It ain't because Clarkson, West 4th Street ain't no scrub, okay? But they were playing better with him out the lineup. And you got to go with what's working, right? It was make this work time, right? It was make this work. So you got to go with what's working. And them 8 dudes was getting it done, right? So you got to go with them. So that's why, Clarkson's on the outside right now. But they getting ready to bring in a guy. Now, I still don't understand the Alvarado obsession. I understand in the sense that he fits the culture. He plays defense. He's a 94-foot guy. Definitely. He's big time, tough as nails. So he fits the culture. But I'm saying you got Deuce, Brunson, Shamet, Mikal, Josh that can play in the backcourt, right? So I'm wondering why they looking at Alvarado, because Alvarado, and I thought about it, like I was like, would he want to come to the Knicks and only get 8 minutes a game? Because that's really what you're talking about, 8 to maybe 9, 10 minutes. But maybe because it's a championship team, the Knicks are a championship team. And I've been saying that. Y'all know, right? I have not backed off of that. I said that Detroit was better at that point. I did say that, but I said at that point. Some people got all crazy and said, well, they better all the way through. No, let's not get crazy. Because you know what? You get to May, it's a different season. Okay, it's a different season. Well, JL, I'm saying the same thing. That's what I'm saying. I didn't want to say it, but you said what I was thinking out loud. JL James Bond, JL 007 said that maybe they're having long-term doubts about Kolek. I don't know, but that's what I'm saying. Why would they bring in Alvarado? I mean, I can understand it in terms of fit. I'm not saying he don't fit, but I'm saying, don't you believe Kolek can come up to the plate? Listen, I don't believe Kolek is ready for prime time right now. Like, it's time to let the men play. Kolek is still a youngin'. I mean, he's getting to be 25 and all that, but he needs another season, I think, right? He needs to play, a little bit more. And I got the belief in the boy. I think he'll be pretty good, right? I really do. I ain't turned my back on Kolek. I think he'd be pretty good. But I'm saying we needed to get some lockdown damn defense, and we needed some grown-ass men out there, thank you, OG, to take care of business in crunch time, okay? Yeah, I think maybe another year. Would you say, son? I think so. I think another year, see? But, again, just like with RJ and IQ, the Knicks traded future value for present value. OG, Precious, which I feel like they should still have Precious. There's no way they should have lost Precious. There's no way they should have signed Precious. But that's what they did. They traded future value for present value. And the same thing with Mikal. Everybody whining about these damn picks. They traded future value for present value. What most people still don't understand, they start salivating like a dog to a treat, with the Stockholm or whatever the test was the scientists did. Whenever they talk about the Knicks possibly getting a lottery pick, listen, the Knicks can't use lottery pick right now. They can't use them. We got what we need in the top 5, top 8. We don't need nothing else, okay? Anybody they get is not going to play, okay? Because there's no minutes for them. Now, they're talking about Alvarado. I've also heard Keon Ellis. So I can understand that, because what happens now, let's say you let Kolek go. So now you got Brunson, followed by Dog Deuce, followed by Dog Alvarado or Dog Keon Ellis. So you really not letting whoever you're guarding. It's almost like y'all know, like they had Neesmith They had Nimhart. Remember the year that Indiana went to the finals? They had Neesmith, and they follow up Neesmith with Nimhart, and then follow up him with Shepard. All three of them was on point, tough, 94 feet dudes, right? Then they're going Detroit, same thing. You had they're going Malik, right? Then you had they're going Osor Thompson, right? You had them out there coming at our boy, one after another. The Knicks will have a similar situation if they pick up a Alvarado or a Ellis. But I'm saying what brother said, what 007 James Bond said, yo, that means bad news for our boy though, Kolek, because he ain't gonna get no PT. He ain't gonna get none. He's gonna be G League and PTing. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm saying. But now, this Eve Missy is a little bit of a strange situation to me. So y'all seen MitchRob, right? So what y'all think? Eve Missy is definitely cheaper than MitchRob. But do you really think if the Knicks go deep, let's say they go to the finals, even if they lose, but they go to the finals, let me ask y'all two questions. Are you ready for the questions? Let me take a sip of my grape juice. Let me let y'all get ready. Tell me, type of one if you're ready for the question. Tell me if you're ready for the question. Okay, you ready for the question? If the Knicks make a finals run, do you believe Mitchell Robinson will, if you look back, Mitchell Robinson will have played a major role in the finals run? What do you think? If the Knicks were to make a finals run, would MitchRob have played a major role in that final run? Yes, I think you're right. I think he would have. For them to do it, you need a MitchRob doing that. So therefore, they make the finals with MitchRob playing the major role. You think they would let MitchRob walk though, and let Eve Missy take his spot? You think that? That's what I'm saying. Like Eve Missy, he's I like the boy. The boy is good. I like him. Okay, but I don't know if I'm letting Mitchell Robinson walk out the door. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure. I'm not sure I'm doing that. Okay, basically, Eve Missy would become the new Ariel Hooporti, but he'd probably get more minutes than Ariel Hooporti. But Eve Missy would become the new Ariel. I'm saying, is that what it is? But see, maybe you're right. I'm saying, because that isn't Winston Jones. Isn't that what Ariel Hooporti is supposed to be though? Right now, right? Isn't he supposed to be insurance for MitchRob? I don't know. That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean. You can't play everybody, man. That's all I'm saying. I think honestly, I'm just saying Eve Missy is better. And I don't want to hurt nobody's feeling, but we see building blocks is saying again, you know my mind right here. I'm saying Eve Missy is better than Ariel Hooporti. That's all I'm saying. Eve Missy's better than Ariel Hooporti. So yeah, so I don't know. We'll see. I am of the mind, as I already told y'all, if we're going after anybody on New Orleans, please give me Sadiq Bey. Give me Sadiq. Sadiq could come in there and play that 4-spot, 3-spot right away. And we ain't got to worry about it. That'll be your 9-man rotation. Deuce. They're going Shamet, Sadiq, and MitchRob. Oh, like, wait. Yup, I ain't fronting, right? I'm not overreacting if I tell you that's a hella 5 bench. That's MobDeep on the next level. You hear what I'm saying? You put Sadiq in there with MitchRob, Deuce, and Shamet. That's MobDeep on the next level, man. That's MobDeep like we ain't seen. Even when Obi and IQ was running MobDeep, that's MobDeep like we ain't even seen. That's what I'm saying. All I'm saying. That so I hear them with the Eve Missy and Alvarado. I'm not going to say that's not a good move. I'm not going to say that. But damn, I can't. Well, I don't know if they're afraid they can't sign him, but I do know, and have y'all heard this, that it's MitchRob's people that's saying we don't play him back-to-backs. It's MitchRob's people saying we got to limit his minutes. So MitchRob's people's already angling for the contract, which means that's, obviously the best offensive rebound in the NBA. Somebody going to offer him some money. Now, wait a minute. I ain't going to overpay for MitchRob, though. All right? I mean, right? The Don ain't overpaying for nobody. I'm just saying he ain't going to do it. He ain't going to do it. He got a number in mind for Mitchell Robinson, and he going to stick with that number. He's not going to overpay. He going shopping. He know what his money's like. He's not going to let his money get low because of Mitchell Robinson. That's not going to happen because MitchRob's new contract goes into effect next season. Now, if I'm going to be fair about it, I'm giving Mitch 4 years, $60 million. I'm giving Mitch 4 years, $60 million. Matter of fact, how much? What's the boy coming off the bench from New Jersey for the Timberwolves? What's that boy name? He coming off the bench for Minnesota. He's from New Jersey though. What's the boy name? Tony Bell 12. Thank you for the 10 bones. What's that boy name coming off the bench? He's from New Jersey, and he playing for the Minnesota. Nas. Right? How much Nas got? How much Nas got? What's Nas? Whatever Nas's contract is, if I'm MitchRob, that's my contract. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Nas Reed. That's right. That's right. Contract. Whatever his contract is, that's Mitchell Robinson's contract. So, well, hell no. Oh, I'm sorry. No, he got a 5-year 125. Damn, no, I'm not doing that. I'm sorry. I'm not doing that. Hell no. 125? No. Nope. I love Mitchell Robinson. You know we Mitch Hive, but hell no. I'm not giving that country boy from Catfish Land no damn 125 million. Hell no. Hell no. No. Now, MitchRob people could ask for whatever they want, right? Right? Like y'all remember last summer, y'all was saying, some of y'all was saying, homie's expecting to get rotation minutes. You remember that? His homie Brogdon, he was expecting to get rotation minutes. And I said he can expect whatever he wants, right? He can expect whatever he wants. He ain't getting no damn rotation minutes now. So, you know what I'm saying? So I'm saying, okay, let's start with the years. Mitchell Robinson is not a big spending dude, right? Now, he like to swirl a little bit, so that's going to cost him. Anytime you swirl, and if you know, if you swirling, that's going to cost you. Swirling always costs you, man. Swirling costs you. Son from Brooklyn, am I telling the truth? Swirling is going to cost your ass. So he going to pay. So MitchRob is a more I would say MitchRob wants a 5-year deal. He wants the stability. You hear what I'm saying? He wants a 5-year contract. He wants to know he's going to get money for 5 years and have to worry about it. That's what I'm saying. So, okay. So I think he would take a 5-year deal if they, he going for the snow bunny. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, listen, if the snow bunny loves you, that's cool. But I got to be real. I've known some snow bunnies that do love a brother. I've known somebody. And how I knew, because the brother ain't have pot to piss in or window to throw out of, and the snow bunny was there with him for all that time. So I'm saying, and you know, I've seen that. But when brothers got deep pockets already, I'm sorry. That baby right there, she gonna get paid. She gonna pop out a few for you, but you better come out your pocket because she gonna get paid. That's gonna cost you. So I'm just saying, love who you want to love, but understand the cost. You know what I'm saying? You got what the Bible said. You gotta count the cost. That's all I'm saying. So look, that's the case. Okay. It's going up a little bit. Malik. They're gonna have about 16 million under the second apron. But so you gotta understand that's gonna cost you. So MitchRob, I said all that to say MitchRob is looking for a 5-year deal. I think he's gonna be looking for a 5-year deal. He's 27, 5-year deal gets him to 32. So now let's talk about the per year. So if he was to get, let's say 16 million a year, right? So that's 90 million. That's 5 years, right? Am I right about that? No, that's 5 years, 80 million. I think that's the money for him. I think that's the money. I'll be honest, I think that's the money. Okay. Or he could take this 464 and do that if he wants to. But I'm thinking 5 years, 80. MitchRob. Right. Well, Angry said 475. How much is that a year? How much is that we talking about? We talking about, if we doing that, we talking about 19 a year. I don't like that number. That's too close to 20. I don't think MitchRob's a 20 million a year dude, though. And I love MitchRob, but you can't be coming off my bench and telling me you want 20 million a year. Josh Hart could start. Josh Hart's available, right? Josh Hart could start. Josh Hart's available. Well, Richard Baptiste, now you're not being realistic, my brother. Come on, take your Knicks hate, take your hate for your player off the table. If I'm a, you know, the ironic thing about what you just said, Richard Baptiste, if MitchRob was on Miami or New Orleans, y'all be clamoring for them to pay everything they can to go get him. If he was the number one offensive rebounder, top 10 rebounder in the league, and he was on another team, y'all be like, we got to trade to go get Mitchell Robinson. That's what y'all would be saying. Okay. So now he's on your team. You won't give him more than 3 years. That's the I hate my own player syndrome. That's alive and well in Knicks Nation. No, Mitchell Robinson must get at least 4 years. That's what I'm saying. I would give him at least 4 years, 460. I would say, no, today we doing Merlot from the Joshua Sellers. Now, 575 Webstar, I like the number, but I'm thinking that's a tad too low. I would go 580. I would go 580. Okay, I would go 580. That's 16 a year. MitchRob can buy plenty of them big ass trucks with that. He can swirl as much as he wants and have all of these, you know, snow bunnies and have little baby snow bunnies. He could do that, and he could pay, and he'll be all right. You know, MitchRob. You know, so that's all I'm saying. So I think MitchRob is like, you know, I didn't realize OG was like that. OG wanted 5 years. You know, OG got 5,240, right? Isn't that what OG got? 5,240. So OG got 5,240. So that's like 45, 48 a year. Yeah. So he got 5,240 because is it 212? It's 212. Okay. I appreciate that check. It's 212. Okay. Well, all I'm saying is that let me go. Now y'all gonna make me check. Was it 5,212? Okay, he got 5,212. So that's 40 a year. My point is that he wanted the long-term security. He wasn't worried about getting a $300 million deal, you know. So he took the 5-year deal. I think MitchRob would do the same thing. I think MitchRob would take the 5-year deal. If you recall, MitchRob's first contract was travesty. It was like Deuce level travesty. Really was. It was Deuce level. Yeah, 5 years, 212.5. That's what he got. So MitchRob's first contract was ridiculous. It was like 4 years, $6 million. Some stupidness, man. So he gonna have to make up. He's gonna try to make up, you know, for that. He's gonna try to make up. He's gonna try to get back some money. That's all I'm saying. John Pettit getting all agent on this. I have to agree with you, John Pettit. I like it. He said, put some incentives there. That means at least 65 games played, right, John Pettit? You want the money? Play 65 games, fool. You can come off the bench with 65 games. And you mean you playing back-to-backs. Anthony DeSeri. That's pushing it a little bit, though. That's pushing it a little bit, man. I mean, that's pushing. You said, well, how much is that? You said 5 for 90. Damn, that's about the limit. That's about the limit I would go, and I would do a John Pettit on him. You got to play at least 65 games to get that full 18 million, my brother. You're going to play back-to-backs. You could come off the bench. You know, we can agree with that. We like that. But you're gonna play back-to-backs. Your ass going to be in there when we need you. And, yeah, okay. I got that. Yeah. The real man that we're going to talk about is Brother Deuce, right? That's the real man we got to talk about. Brother Deuce been getting robbed from the time he came in the league. He been getting robbed by the Knicks. This contract was robbery. Okay, everybody in the league knows that. The Don knows that. So I think, I don't say he ain't giving Deuce no 20 a year though, but I'm thinking Deuce another brother. So 4 years, 80. you got to do 4 years 80 on Deuce. I'm thinking 4 years 80. Deuce is 4 years 80. That's all I'm saying. Deuce is 4 years 80. All guaranteed money, so 4 years 80. Let's get this done. Yeah, Desiri, there's a lot of dudes saying it. Teague said it. They're going, Devo said it. They're going, a lot of people have been saying it, that the best contract in the league is Deuce McBride. Everybody knows that. Okay. Yeah, but Richard Baptiste, this is a dude that shoots 40 from 3, 80 from the line. Nah. And he could lock down anybody in the league. You got to pay him. And he's available. You got to pay him. So yeah, 20 off the bench. And look, if Nas Reed, how much is 125? How much is that? What is that? Like 15 a year? How much is it? 125? No, that's more than that, isn't it? 125. Because Nas Reed get 125, man. So we got to, Deuce is gonna be wanting that. Let's see, 125. That's 25 a year. And Deuce, we talking about 480. So Deuce is at least as valuable to the Knicks as Nas Reed is to Minnesota. At least, right? He's at least as valuable. So yeah, but you talking about that old Richard Baptiste talking about that old that contract that Dallas offered Brunson. I don't know about that. I would say like this, to be fair. Oh, Shamet's another story. We're going to sign him too. But let's talk about this. That's good. That's good, Coach House. To be fair, I'd say Deuce's minimum deal. The minimum deal for Deuce is $448. That's the minimum deal. You can't go below that. But I think the upper echelon is $480. So that's a big difference. Like, all right, let's say we split the difference. So you got 48 and you got 80. That's 125 divided by 262.5. So I think the median is about 460. Okay, 460. So I think the median money, Deuce got to get that. Yeah, 460. He's got to get that. What you think, sir? He got it. I think 460. If you're talking about the upper echelon, is 480. The bottom is 448. 48 and 80, 128, right? Divide that by 2. 64. So you got 4 years, 64 million. That's what I'm saying. 464. That's what I do for Deuce McBride. 464. No doubt. Deuce, we want you back, bro. We're gonna pay you. 464. Now, remember now, Deuce contract does not go into effect until the year after next. So he could sign that contract this July, but he's under his old contract at about $4 million next year, which helps us with Mitchell Robinson, and y'all are mentioning another very important piece, Landry Shamet. I'm giving whatever the Knicks have for the mid-level exception, that's Landry Shamet's money right there. That's what I'm saying. What y'all think? Whatever the Knicks have for mid-level exception, that's Landry Shamet's money. That's all I'm saying. Whatever they have for mid-level, I don't know what it is. What they have for mid-level exception is Landry Shamet. That's Landry Shamet's money right there. If it's 8 million, if it's 11 million, whatever it is, I'm giving that to Landry Shamet. Let me see what we got here. It doesn't say what their mid-level money is right now. But yeah, whatever the mid-level is, I'm giving it to Landry Shamet. That's Landry Shamet's money right there. What's up, old man Knicks fan? Organic? What's up? Organic fanatics. Yeah. Mr. Williams, not only has he earned the right, he's going to be shooting like this for a few more years. So we want him on our team. So whatever the mid-level is now. Who's that? Jay Davis? Yeah, we got the grape juice, man. We doing grape juice today. We being good. So, where was I? So Shamet, what y'all think? I'm thinking if the mid-level is 11, 444. What y'all think? No, you're right, Michael Drake, but I think, all right, this is time for a poll, man. I'm tired of y'all. Let's do this poll, man. Let's do a poll. Right now, we're going to start a poll. Okay, are you ready? Hey, first let's start with Deuce McBride extension. I'm gonna give you all three options. I'm gonna give you all three options. There you go. Deuce McBride extension. I gave you all three options: 480, 460, 448. 480, 460, 448. I'm gonna let that simmer. I'm gonna let that food cook for a minute and let y'all tell me what you think. That's gonna be interesting what we get from that. Well, Shamet, if he come, let me tell you, if Shamet ends this season healthy and does what I know he gonna do come playoff time, um, he gonna get his money. I mean, he gonna get money. It's a question of how much. I don't know if I don't think Shamet would get 15 a year, but I can see him getting 440. I can see him getting 440. I could see him getting 440. Like I said, I think the mid level will be about 10. I could see him getting 440 because we getting ready to trade Yabusele. But then again, and this is another thing too. Well, are they paying taxes next year though? Cool Kyle, are they taxpayers? Let me see. The Knicks. Let me see. Oh yeah, the Knicks are taxpayers. So yeah, what's the taxpayer mid-level exception? Let me see that. What is the taxpayer mid-level exception in the NBA? Okay, 5.7. Damn, that's tough. Okay, so it looked like Shamet would probably get 423. Yeah, so maybe 424, Shamet. That's about if that's all the Knicks can pay him though, because yeah, it is Yabo money. And the thing is, if they were to get Sadiq is locked in for one more year at 6. Sadiq is not UFA this year, so Sadiq is locked in for one more year at 6. Let me just make sure of that I ain't lying to you. But Sadiq is locked in. Let me just make sure of that. Sadiq is locked in, one more year, 6.4. So he's locked in 6.4. So we don't have to deal with him until next year if we get Sadiq. We don't have to deal with him until next year. So, yeah. Yeah, I agree, John Petty. Deuce is the top priority. Because you know how many teams are going to be after Deuce McBride this summer? The Knicks got two dudes that everybody's going to be interested in. Deuce McBride. No, 3. Shamet, Deuce McBride, and Mitchell Robinson. So they're going to have to pay these brothers. They're going to have to pay them. Deuce first. Yes, I agree with you, John Petty. Deuce first. Let me see where we at with this poll. 49% of y'all out of 51 votes said the 460. I agree with that. I can't hate on that. I can't hate on that. I think that's a good number for Deuce. I think that's a good number. 460. That's a good number. He can pay, he can take care of his little baby. He can have some more little babies with his fine girl. He got a fine woman from she from Brazil. They met at University of West Virginia. Deuce can cook it up. Yabo getting traded. That's what we're talking about in the background is Yabo getting traded for somebody that's going to be in his spot. Whether it's Alvarado or Sadiq Bey or Precious Achua, he's getting traded for somebody that's going to be in his spot. Now, we've been hearing a lot about San Antonio because of Victor Wembanyama. Him and Victor are buddies. And Victor's got all kind of juice right now because of who he is in the league. So if he was to go to San Antonio, that means I'm going to tell you what that would be. It would be Yabusele with either Tyler Kolek or, not both, or Yabusele with either Tyler Kolek or Bacone Daddy. And they'll be getting a Jeremy Sohan back. they'll be getting the Jeremy Sohan. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I could see that because of the Victor angle. Victor Wembanyama got juice in San Antonio, so I can see that coming. I can see that happening. If I'm the Knicks and I'm picking off of the roster of the Spurs. Let me see. I want Sohan. If I'm them, I want Sohan. Who else? I'm trying to say who else would be realistic. I want Sohan. If I'm them, I want Sohan. And if I send you Daddy A and Yabusele, that fits because now Sohan is $7 million. He's going to be a restricted free agent next year. I would like now. They would not let us get Julian Champagny. Oh, I would take him too. Julian Champagny. Yeah, y'all remember him? The Champagny brothers give us all kind of problems. So, but well, Corey Lindsey is going to happen before the deadline. I don't know when. It can happen anytime. It's going to happen before the deadline. I don't know when it's going to happen, but it's going to be before the deadline. So whenever the deadline is, when is the trade deadline? Tell me, y'all. When's the trade deadline? When is the NBA trade deadline? It's February 5th. So it's going to happen before February 5th, which is next week. Next week. Yeah, February 5th. So it's next week. So the trade is going to happen between now and next week. Yeah. So before February 5th. So I mean, I don't know exactly what hour, but it's going to happen before February 5th. So yeah, I would take a Sohan. I would look. Sohan is from England. Guess who else the Knicks had that's from England? Who the Knicks got from England? Very important player that the Knicks have from England. Sohan's from England. Who else is from England? Come on, y'all. Who else from England? Talk to me. Y'all don't know. That's right. You think OG would be down with that? OG would be down with that. So you would have Sohan, MitchRob, Deuce, and Shamet. Now, Sohan, how tall is that boy? How tall is Sohan? How big is that boy? Let me see. How tall is Mr. Jeremy Sohan? Let's see. Let's look at that. I think he's at least 6'8", right? Let me just make sure. 6'8". Yeah, he's 6'8", 230. Oh, yeah. So Sohan can play the 4, the 3, and he could probably guard some 5. Okay, I wouldn't be surprised. So, well, Michael Drake, this is the thing. I don't know. He's saying he doesn't think they're going to trade Tyler Kolek. I don't know, but I would tell you, if they get Alvarado, Kolek doesn't want to stay in New York. I'm not even saying it's up to the Kolek wouldn't want. Why would he? Because he could go somewhere else and play. So I'm saying he's not going to play. If you get Alvarado, Kolek is DNP CD City, baby. He's not going to play. So if I'm Kolek's agent, I'm looking out for my client, and I'm like, okay, listen, find me a place where my guy could play. Because right now, Kolek could play for New Orleans. I mean, be in the rotation and play. You know what I'm saying? So, so I don't want to say they're not trading Kolek, but I can't see why they wouldn't if he's not going to play. Now, if they don't get Alvarado, then Kolek would probably stay. If they don't get Alvarado. So Alvarado's the key. If they get Keon Ellis or Alvarado, Kolek going, man. I'm trying to tell you. If they get Keon Ellis. Now, if they go to San Antonio and get Sohan, Kolek is safe. I'll tell you that right now. If they go to San Antonio and they trade Yabu and Pacome Daddier for Sohan, Kolek is safe. Because Those two salaries, 5.7, and you're talking about Daddy at 2.8. You're talking about 8.5 going out and 7 coming back. The Knicks would do that, and San Antonio would do that, and everybody's happy. But if they go to New Orleans for Alvarado, or they go for the Kings for Ellis, and I heard at least from Ian, at least 10 teams are calling the Kings about Keon Ellis. That's how important that perimeter defense is. Well, am I Malik? Wait, am I? No, I didn't see nobody touch a nerve. Maybe I was willfully blinded, Malik. I don't know. Maybe I didn't see. I didn't see him today. Really, I must have missed it. Don't get me riled, Malik. Don't get me riled, man. I'm gonna chill, man. You know what it is? I started talking about Deuce's wife, man. Deuce's woman, the mama, his baby mama, Brazilian. That's all I'm saying. So is that what it is, Malik? Angrill, that's an interesting question. Angrill asked, didn't Brown have issues for not playing Ellis enough? I don't know. I don't know what Brown did with Keon Ellis. I don't know how he handled him. If he wasn't playing Keon Ellis, he's a fool. But yo, Corey, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. To me, my number one priority is Precious. I want Precious Achiuwa. But if I can't get him, my second choice is Saddiq Bey. My number one priority is Precious Achiuwa. But if I can't get him, I want Saddiq Bey. That's definite. Definitely. Did he say that? Okay. So Mike Brown has a history with Keon Ellis. Saddiq Bey is a Villanova dude. The Knicks have asked about the New York, Brooklyn dude Alvarado along with Yves Missi. And then we have the French connection with Yabusele and Victor Wembanyama, which brings us either Sohan, the combination of Alvarado and Yves Missi, Keon Ellis, right? Or Precious Achiuwa, who's, I'd have to say Precious a dark horse, because if I'm the Kings, I'm not letting him go. I'm not letting him go. I'm letting Levine go. I'm letting DeRozan go. I'm letting everybody go, but I'm not letting Precious go because that salary is too cheap. Are you inspired, Malik? I mean, Mike M. Drake, you inspired? Well, Knicks, Giants, Rangers, Yankees, I think the Knicks have learned their lesson. So I don't think you're going to get no DNP CDs with Precious this time. I think he gets at least 15, 16 minutes. Because you really think about it, right? So I think if they got a ninth guy, everybody in the starting five will play 2 minutes less as an average. So if they get another guy that'll make a ninth guy, everybody in the starting five gets a little less, 2 minutes. So now that's 8 minutes. And then Yabusele's already getting 3, 4, 7 minutes, something like that. So you're going to get him somewhere about 13 to 16 minutes a night, whoever's in that spot. Okay. Yeah, I'm agreeing with you, Mr. Williams. That's what I'm saying. It's going to be hard for us to get Precious. I think Precious is difficult. Very difficult. So APAP said we should appreciate what we have now. Finally you woke up, because you one of the ones talking all that foolishness. I'm glad you woke up. I'm glad you saw whatever documentary you saw. I'm glad it woke you up a little bit, because you was off the chain with some of this, man. You was talking. So no, yeah, I'm glad. Somebody else, get you know what? Tell give what's that boy name? Give a couple of these other knuckleheads that link for the documentary, please. So help them out. Sure. You was out there on left field. You was out there third railing it like you was surfing or some mess, man. Shoot. So I'm glad. You had it down. You didn't realize, huh? You must have been a youngin' in diapers or some mess, man. I seen some bad basketball from the Knicks at that time. San Antonio wants you, Apple South. You ain't heard? Brooklyn Blocks. San Antonio wants it. San Antonio wants it. Yeah, that's who I'd be looking at. So, okay, wait. Let's finish the poll we just did. So I'm gonna stop this poll. 81 votes. Deuce should get 60 million. I agree. All right, we'll end this poll. I'm gonna start a new poll. New poll. All right, ready? Here's the new poll. I ain't asked for no start a poll. All right, start a poll. Here's the new poll. Ready? I'm gonna give you all 3 choices. Probably misspelling. All right. I'm definitely misspelling. And then we're going to add a third option. Okay, ready? Here's the poll. I should add another one. Right, add another option. Even though it's not realistic. Let me see. Okay, here's the poll. Who would you acquire at the deadline? Saddiq Bey, Alvarado and Misi, Sohan, Precious Achiuwa. Who you acquiring at the deadline? Let's see what y'all say. To me, Saddiq, Precious is my number 1 dude, but realistically, probably not. Then Saddiq would be my guy. Then Sohan, then Alvarado. Misi. That's how I would do. That's how I would do. Yeah, who would you acquire at the deadline? We're going to see. This is going to be good. We're going to see. Nah, Poppy, man, we ain't A-Pop. No, we at 87 degrees right now. I'm enjoying life. I'm sorry for y'all. No, I'm not. But y'all, where y'all at, man? Get them shovels out. Make sure you don't slip and break your behind. Sohan he can guard 5 positions. That's his big thing. And he can hit a 3 occasionally. He's not a big 3-point shooter, but he can hit a 3 occasionally. Sohan can guard 5 positions. And let me see. Let's go to the stats. And he can occasionally knock down a 3. I don't think he's a major 3-point dude. Let me see. Sohan shoots. Yeah, 26% from 3. He's not a big 3-point shooter. He's more in the paint type of dude. So Sohan is more like an in the paint guy. Yeah. He's more independent. He's not been playing a lot this year. Well, he has, but I wouldn't count on him to play the point. I wouldn't bring him to New York to think he's going to be a point. But he can play defense, though. He can play defense. Okay. He's Keon Ellis. You know, he can play defense. He can do that. He can guard 5 positions on the floor. So that's if I had to say his positive attributes, he can guard 5 positions on the floor, and he has a high basketball IQ. He's got a high basketball IQ. So he plays the game the right way. He knows how to do that. He also comes out of Baylor, like VJ Edgecombe and like night, off night, all of them, they came out of Baylor. So yeah, he plays great defense. Yeah, so, but yeah. Well, John Petty, you were right. See, this is the thing. I look at it like, okay, what are we doing here? If we were to get Misi, that's a play for, and somebody said it earlier, that's insurance for MitchRob. And I don't know if I want to waste this pick on trying to just get MitchRob insurance, and I would have to trade whole party. If I'm trying to win now, right? What are we talking about? If I'm trying to win now, I want Saddiq Bey. If I want to win right now, I want Sadiq or Precious or Sohan if I'm trying to win now. Okay, because those guys are ready to contribute right now. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And so honestly, Sadiq, Alvarado, Sohan are all high IQ players. Sadiq come from the Villanova program. Ain't nothing but high IQ come out of that dude, Jay Wright program. Nothing but high IQ. So Sadiq would have the high IQ that you're looking for if that's what you want. Yeah, Clarkson, if you saw, Clarkson is one of these cats. He's a total professional. But did you see him talking to Embiid yesterday? He looked hurt. And then he said, I don't know why I'm not playing. I don't F up the game. He said that. So I think Clarkson's hurt. It's almost like the way Doc Rivers' son, remember when he was here? Doc Rivers' son was here, and they traded him. He was a little hurt too. He thought he should play more, and Tiz wasn't having it. Police, Miss Phyllis Lee, I don't say they've given up on him. I'm just saying they're getting a better fit right now. Because look at Sohan, like look at the depth on San Antonio. Right now, at the 4 spot, you got Harrison Barnes starting, Keldon Johnson, and then at the 3, you got Devin Vassell and Julian Campaign. So Sohan's got to fight with them, and then you got Victor Wembanyama, Luke Cornett. Then you got Kelly Olynyk. I don't know if he can't beat out Kelly Olynyk. It's like they don't really want him long term. But you got Keldon Johnson, Luke Cornett, and Julian Campaign playing in front of Sohan. So that would be tough for him to get minutes. It'd be tough. Yeah. So, but I like Sadiq. Sadiq is a valuable piece. There's no doubt. Sadiq is a valuable piece. So we have to see. But I can see San Antonio because of Victor getting Sadiq, not Sadiq, getting Yabusele. So we'll see. I don't know. I want Sadiq Beto. I do. I ain't gonna front Mike Drake. I want Sadiq also. I ain't gonna front that. I prefer him also. I prefer him above Sohan for sure. Okay. The only guy that I like above him is Precious, and realistically, I can't see us getting Precious because if I'm the Kings, I'm not giving up Precious. I'm sending Levine out. I'm sending DeRozan out. I might send Sabonis out, but I'm keeping the cheap contracts and the rookies. I'm keeping. Oh yeah. OG's a bad man. OG did his thing, man. Oh yeah. Coach House. I'm sorry. There's also Najee Marshall. Now Najee Marshall can guard 4s and 3s. I wouldn't say he can guard 5s, right, y'all? I wouldn't depend on Marshall to guard 5s, but then we still have Cat, MitchRob, and let's not forget OG. OG could guard 5, as we have seen. OG could guard 5. OG could do that. They actually asked him building blocks. He indicated he would be open to a move back to New York. So I wouldn't say he doesn't want to come back. Yeah, he indicated he'd be open to coming back to New York. He already said that. So yeah, no, it's not like he's not interested. He's from New York. He's a Queens boy. So he's a Mets fan and he wants to be back. So I wouldn't be surprised at that. May not be in the cards, but it's not because he doesn't want it. Yeah, Marshall would be a nice pickup. I'm not worried about one guy. We getting the guy strictly to beat beef stew. The hell with beef stew. I have a flock of beef stew. We good. OG, Josh Hart put his little ass in there too. I ain't worried about a damn beef stew. The hell, man. We just need to make sure we playing good defense. And listen, beef stew is not that important that we need to find a player just for him. That would be a situation against Michael Jordan. Can you find a player to guard Michael Jordan? You know what I'm saying? That would be a situation like that. But beef stew is not that important that we need to worry about finding a guy just through him. Okay. No. They just need to keep playing defense, man. That's right. Keep playing defense. Keep playing defense. Keep playing defense. That's right. That's right. So, nah, Beef Stew just don't take no mess from nobody. He wants to be. See, when you see a guy like Isaiah Stewart, right? What does he really say? He wants to say, "Do not disrespect me." That's what he's trying. That's how he's playing the game. He's playing the game to let everybody in the league know, do not disrespect me. LeBron tried it a couple of years ago, and he was going to try to kill LeBron. That just goes to show you. He is saying, do not disrespect me. Respect me. That's all he's saying. Okay. All his teammates respect him. He wants to let the league know, respect me. That's all he's saying. So Beef Stew, he's gonna play tough. It's good. I respect him. I always liked him. Coming out of Washington, I liked him. So I respect him. But yeah, Bay plays defense. Smart IQ player. He's got 3 other Villanova dudes on his team if he comes here. So yeah. Woody and Woody Stefani Lee. Did I say that right? Woody Stefani Lee. What he just asked, let me just repeat his question. He asked how to destroy Detroit in the playoffs this year. It's not about destroying Detroit. It's just about winning. Like I saw some knucklehead say, "Oh, I don't like the way the Knicks won the game yesterday. They was ahead by 17, they ended up winning by 3." That's asinine. That is straight, immature, asinine. All you care about is getting the W. That's all. It don't have to be by 50. Just get the dub. That's what we're talking about. So what real question would be then, Woody, is how do we beat Detroit? Not how do we destroy Detroit? How do we beat Detroit? Period. Because they can beat our ass. So we got to know, can we beat them? Well, play defense. Detroit is the toughest team I've seen this year in the league at keeping out the paint. They're the toughest team. Cade Cunningham at 6'8" is just like SGA. He gets in the paint when he wants to. That's the difficult thing against Detroit. He gets in the paint when he wants to. And Detroit plays hard-nosed, physical defense. So the Knicks better wake up. I wouldn't say Cat is not respected by his peers. I say some of his peers are jealous of Cat. That's what I think. Whoever's speaking against Cat is jealous because Cat get $55 million this year, $55 million next year, and $61 million. So they just jealous, which is I think is very petty. Which some players in the NBA are petty. Some people just petty. But as far as the refs, it's because he whined too damn much. You need to stop whining and play. That's it. Stop whining and play. Okay, that's all. Now with Cade, you got to get the ball out of his hands. Now the problem with Detroit, which is what we're seeing this year, is you get the ball out of his hands. That means it goes into the hands of a shooter. This last year was Malik Beasley. This year, the shooter is Robinson. So you get the ball out of Cade's hands, it's going to the hands of a shooter. That's the problem. You got to really play your optimal level defense against Detroit. And that's going to be a hell of a series. If the Knicks ended up playing them, it's going to be a hell of a series. So now, as we know, the Knicks have the number 1 assassin in the NBA in Jalen Brunson. And what I liked about yesterday is Brunson really did wait to the end to do his thing. That's what you want. Yeah, he does drive me crazy with them damn missed free throws. Now that the Knicks yesterday, they shot 55. They shot 55% from the line yesterday. Now, I think we all understand they don't always do that. Okay, so let's not get carried away. They don't do that. This is not a habit. The Knicks do not shoot 55% from the line as a regular thing. It happened yesterday, but that's okay. Right? We know they're not going to do that all the time. So that's the way. Right now, let's see what they shoot from the line right now. Let me just take a look. What do they shoot from the line? They shoot as a team 78, almost 79% from the line. And that's more like it, right? So they shot 55 yesterday. It was an aberration. That's not what they're going to do. Brunson cannot be missing clutch free throws like that. No. So I think we'll be all right, though. That was just an aberration yesterday. Let's just treat it like that and move on. Matter of fact, don't Detroit play today? I think Detroit plays today. Can somebody beat their ass for it? Who Detroit plays today? Can somebody beat their ass for it? Because I want let them get another. They took an L the other night. Can they take an L tonight? That'd be nice. Yes, they're playing the Kings. All right, King. Do something, man. Came back from shoveling snow, Andrew Abraham. Cheers to you, brother. Cheers to you. Hope your back's all right, man. Out there shoveling that snow. I feel sorry for you, Andrew. No, I don't. Hey, listen, man. I grew up in New York. I spent 5 years in New Hampshire. I spent more than 10 years in Connecticut. I have shoveled my fair share of snow. I have shoveled. Hey, Miss Stevens, I have shoveled my fair share of snow. Right now, I'm enjoying this 87 degrees. Organic, you feeling that? I'm enjoying this 87 degrees up here in Lake County, Florida. I'm good. I'm down here in Florida enjoying this thing here. So, yeah, they're in Detroit against the Kings. And right now, it's the half, and the Kings are down by 13. Kings down by 13. Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. You got the AC on? I ain't got the AC on because I know it's going to be cold by Tuesday night. Tuesday, the high is 57, so it's going to be cold. 57 is the high on Tuesday, man. We can't be having that down here in Florida. Can't wait to get back to 80 again. Oh, man. That's what we're talking about. Chicagoans are on acting like New York don't get cold because they have a polar vortex or whatever. Yeah, James Bond, I don't care. Chicago is a windy city. It get cold as hell there. You guarantee snow and you guarantee cold. If they don't get cold in Chicago, the world is going to end. That's it. Mika 99. Come on, man. Do we have to go into that? We already know. Come on, man. Tibbs is defensive guru, man. Tibbs is defensive guru. Thank you, Corey Lindsay, for the love, man. I always accept love. Thank you for the love. Well, I had some knucklehead that was trolling me, talking about I love you, Raw. I had to get rid of that fool, man. It's some, maybe, I don't know what it was, you know what I'm saying, but he was acting a fool. I had to get rid of him. But I'm receiving yours, Corey Lindsay. I'm receiving yours. Thank you, Michael Trey. You don't went downstairs. Nate, did you have to go downstairs or upstairs? But you don't went somebody's stairs and took care of your business. Praise him. No, I didn't say Mike. No, you please don't say that, Armika, because then I'm gonna accuse you of misquoting me. Listen, clean out your goddamn ears and hear what I said. I said Mike Brown's an offensive coach that has had some good defensive years. And matter of fact, most of his years have been bad defensive years, particularly his last 2 years in the Kings organization. Bad defensive years. I said Mike Brown's teams usually start fast and badly. That's what I said. No, they working on it, Michael Drake. You see yesterday? They did the thing yesterday. They did the thing. 16 degrees in New York City, man. See, I have to have on my pajamas. I got to have my wife right next to me. I got to be snuggling up to her. And it's got to be all warm, man. Can't be doing that. Felicia, you don't like it's raining, man? It's raining, men might get too distracted. He might get too distracted. He'd be too close to Greenwich Village. He'd be too close to Greenwich Village. You don't want this raining man too close to Greenwich Village. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. And in the Cleveland team, you had LeBron with a whole bunch of defensive players. And LeBron was a defensive player, really good in his prime. So, yeah. So, oh, wait. The Knicks had a defensive coordinator? You know what Brendan O'Connor is like as a defensive coordinator? He's like an offensive lineman that keeps getting his number called. You know what that means, right? When you're playing football and you're offensive lineman, the last thing you want is to have your number called. You know why? Because your number's getting called, you done messed up. If you get the whole game, your number's not called, then okay. Okay, so that's, but that's what Brendan, what the hell is his name? O'Connor. He's supposed to be defensive guru. I don't think so. Yeah, right, exactly. That's all I'm saying, man. They need to do something. Shoot, they need to do something. But we can't have this raining men in New York. He get distracted. He be spending too many nights in Greenwich Village, man. I'm saying, damn. I don't know, but he better get it straight. So the last 2 games they did pretty good. And then they did pretty good against Phoenix too. But I think after them 2 games, the last 2 games were let's get right games, and the Knicks did a good job, right? So let's see what happened. And listen, this is also right. This is also, if you know, right, this is the payback tour. So we started off beating up the Nets, right? And then we got payback against Philly. Now we got Sacramento. Payback. Time for payback. Payback in New York on Tuesday against Sacramento. Well, Cat got to stop running his mouth. They don't play that. But I got to be honest. I'd rather he foul out being aggressive. Honestly, I'm not. To me, the foul out is not the third rail. I'd rather he foul out being aggressive. Be aggressive and foul out. A couple of them fouls yesterday should have been no calls. I agree. But that was his reputation. It's like Rasheed Wallace. After a while, Rasheed was getting texts every game. Why? Because of his reputation. When he said the ball don't lie, tech, he was getting texts. Yeah, so I don't care if he fouls. I don't care if anybody in the Knicks foul out. You got to go hard, especially if they stopping somebody from scoring. Like one time, the Knicks was getting beat and Kolek knocked somebody to the ground. I forgot who it was, and I was glad to see it. I was like, somebody do something, man. Deuce did that too. Shoot, foul him. Shoot, don't give him nothing. Foul their ass. That's all I'm saying. Shoot. So, oh yeah. Yeah, Mitch was doing business. Mitch was doing business. Yeah, and MB got caught with that baiting mess. How are you going to try to bait somebody with I don't know how much time was left, 5 seconds, but he wasn't going to get that. Oh yeah, so you could do OG at the 5 if you need to. You got Cat, you got Mitchell Robinson, and you got OG. You can play all of them at the 5. Yeah. Yeah, you're right, Mr. William. I think you're right. I was wondering how much money Tony Brothers had on that game yesterday. Daggone it. I don't like when he be reffing Knicks games. I don't. But there was some young dude, younger referee. He was messing up too. It's like, what the hell, man? Come on, James Bond. What the hell with Rondo, man? Rondo's an asshole. I'm just saying. He's a brilliant basketball mind, but he's a damn asshole. No, fuck around though. No. I don't mind Tibbs coming back, but nah. Yeah, so yeah. So I mean, that's what I'm saying. He does get mugged, Cat does, but he got to keep his mouth shut and just play the game. He's trying though. I can see he's trying. He really is. He's trying. Yeah. So the record says so. Where were they after this year? The Knicks have played what? How many games have the Knicks played? I think it's 44 games. Are we at right now? Where are they at? 45 games, 27 and 18. Where were they last year? Where were they last year this time? Yeah, see, some things y'all want opinions, but there's some things that don't call for opinions. You got to look at the record. The record tells you exactly where were they after 45 games last year. Let me see. You don't need an opinion for that. You need to just look at the record. Let me see. After 45 games last year, let's see. Game 45. The Knicks were 29-16. This year they're 27-18. So the Knicks were better last year. They were better last year than this year. That's pretty easy. Yeah, they were 29-16. So I do believe we'll play better basketball going forward. So we'll see how it is at the end. But at this point, last year, the Knicks were better. 29-16. Yeah. Yeah. So that's right. So it's 29-16. So we'll see. Yeah, I see. That's what I'm saying. I knew some of the people that was calling for Tibbs firing was stupid because they would be sad once he gone. When you see somebody a soft ass come in there like Mike Brown, see, like I said, if I was going, people was trying to run away from the Tibbs model, not having Malone or not having Tyler Jenkins, but I think you want that Tibbs model. You want to win, don't you? So yeah, so. Brown been trying to unlock Cat. That's the problem. He's been trying too hard and making stuff all kind of complicated. That's the problem. Mike Brown been making the Cat situation complicated. What do we say? Just give him the damn ball and move out the way. You ain't got to, what the hell? Just give him the damn ball and move out the way. It ain't got to be complicated. Give him the damn ball, move out the way. Okay, let him find you. And in fact, Josh Hart was talking about that. Him finding cutters and stuff. That's all we need. It don't need to be complicated. Mike Brown made it too complicated. Yeah, I heard of that, Andrew Abraham. We had a poll. Matter of fact, look at the poll, Andrew. Did you see the poll? The poll says, who would you acquire at the deadline? Sadiq Bey, Alvarado Amisi, Sohan, or Precious? Sadiq Bey is winning going away. Sadiq Bey winning that poll going away. Y'all like Sadiq. I do too. I ain't gonna front. I'd be happy as a pig and doodle, man, if we got Sadiq Bey. I'd love to get Sadiq. Yeah, we got the poll up there. So I know. He said he wants some blocks. He wants some defense, what he's trying to say. If you notice, Josh Hart, who's the other guy? Mikal Bridges, and I think it was OG. They're all talking about defense. That's what you want. They're all talking about defense. Yeah, so B Gill, that's a matter of opinion, and I don't agree with yours. I don't. To say Sadiq Bey doesn't solve our toughness problem. First, we don't have a toughness problem. We just have a defensive problem, and they got that. They know what they need to do. Number two, you're talking about solving something that for most people doesn't exist. You don't worry about, you're buying into the X narrative. The Knicks are soft. The Knicks ain't soft. The damn coach is soft, and his softness is spilling into the team. That's the problem. It ain't the team is soft. Hey, listen, question. I ain't got to do a poll for this one. Was the Knicks soft last year? The last year under Thibodeau, were the Knicks soft last year? What do you think? It's the same team. Were they soft last year? So we got the same team as last year, and they weren't soft last year. Well, what's the difference between this year and last year? The coach. Gregory Joseph. Oh, I know a Gary Joseph. Thanks for the bones, man. 10 bones, I'll round it up. Very informative. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Yeah, that's the difference. So if the Knicks are soft, it's because of their coach. It ain't because of the team. It's the same team. Same team. The same Cat that y'all whining about this year was Cat last year. Ain't nothing wrong with him. It's the coaching. Something wrong with the coaching. The schemes are messed up. Plays are messed up. They need to get something straight in here. Yeah, Brown was spending a lot of time telling them to sprint to the corners instead of spending a lot of time telling them to toughen up and beat somebody's ass or knock somebody on the ground. So I hope so, Corey Lindsay. That's all I can say. I think he will, though. I don't know how they're going to do it. I don't know how the money's going to work. But I gotta bring Shamet back. I knew he was gonna be back. I knew it. He's too valuable. And even Brown said it. I mean, Brown at least recognized that. I knew, but I knew he was gonna be back. Well, like I said, I'm not gonna, Javon, you know what? I'm not gonna get caught up in everything. Listen, man, we trying to get this chip. I don't give a damn who he hugs. I don't give a damn who he helps off the floor. I don't give a damn about anything. Can we get this chip? You understand what I'm saying? Can we get the chip? And you know what? He caught the damn memo too. He caught that memo. He caught the memo because they started playing. Nets, Philly, they started playing. Okay. He caught the memo. Okay. He caught the memo. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, but you see, you listen to some of these pimply faced knuckleheads on X, or the Knicks are soft. The Knicks ain't soft. What the hell's wrong with them? It's the same team as last year that went to the conference finals. They ain't soft. It's the damn coach. It's soft. All that damn smiling and I love you and you love me BS, man. He need to come correct. I noticed it. Joe noticed. He ain't smiling no more. Right? You see him at the press conference. He ain't smiling no more. After the game, he ain't smiling no more. Uh-huh. He caught the memo. Forget all that, baby. It's time to winning time now. You gotta win. Okay? Yeah, he learned now. So I hope he keeps that. You know what I'm saying? He ain't doing that no more. Mm-mm. That collaboration mess. Let's get some dubs up in here. Yeah. Yeah, Jay Snap, I don't give a crap. I don't mind. I hate that we lost that damn game. That's what I hate. Nah, right. You can't, and that's what happens. You can't let the inmates run the asylum. Just because they hated Tibbs, that wasn't a good reason to fire Tibbs. You can't let the inmates run the asylum. Okay? You can't do that. I always ask the question, you want a nice coach or do you want to win? I didn't like Tibbs, but Tibbs win. And I believe if they had discussed this offseason with Tibbs, I think they would have come to an agreement. He would have probably played 9 because he can get 9. He'd have wanted to choose who the 9th guy was. But Kolek wouldn't have played. Who Party probably wouldn't have played. So yeah, right. If say I love you, you love me, we all love each other. Man, you're gonna get your ass fired. But right, exactly. So that's why I love Tibbs, man. Love me some Tibbs, always did. Always did, man. So yeah, that's right. He's a purple dinosaur. That's it. So yeah. No, I'm saying Kev Berg, if they'd have talked to him, because if you notice, if you look at the stats from the last 2 games of the last series last year, Tibbs was playing 9. He was playing 9. I was surprised. But nah, we chilling today. We chilling today at home, Malik. I had a ribeye. That's why I'm having this juice right now. I had me a nice ribeye with some vegetables. I went and I got my baby a little pizza today. She wanted a pizza. I got her pizza. Yeah. Yeah, so we just chilling today, man. We just chilling. And we're gonna watch some Netflix. I'm done with y'all. I'm gonna watch some Netflix, man. I think the Don gonna flip Yabu, and we got the poll. Look at the poll up there, Mika. Look at the poll. Look at the poll. He gonna flip for one of these. What we got here in the poll? You see the poll? You see, you got Sadiq, Alvarado, Misi, Sohan, Precious. That's the poll. So he gonna flip it for one of them to answer your question. Look at the poll that answers your question. Yeah, well, this is the thing. Bay is my kind of guy. Bay is Mikal's kind of guy. Bay is Hart's kind of guy. Bay is Brunson's kind of guy. Yeah, we fixed that kid problem. We fixed the crumb snatcher problem after kid number 4. Kid number 4 is going to be 31 in a month. So that we fixed that crumb snatcher problem 31 years ago. But if it wasn't, if we didn't fix, I was just telling my wife today, we'd have had at least 2 or 3 more. I feel bad for my wife's body because she'd have went through it. We'd have had at least 2 or 3 more if we didn't fix the crumb snatcher problem. But we fixed that crumb snatcher problem after baby number 4. And, we did what we had to do at that point. See? Yes, I'm going to be in D.C. with my baby girl at the Wizards game. Me and my baby girl going to go to, what's the name of that restaurant right next to the stadium? What's the name of that restaurant right next to the stadium, y'all? It's right next to Adams. What's it called? Right next to the stadium. We're going to eat right there. Matter of fact, you just remind me. I need to make some reservations. Yeah, I need to make some reservations. What? Clyde, right. Clyde's. We're going to be in Clyde's chilling. I'll make some reservations. My favorite Knicks player ever? Hell no. My favorite Knicks player ever is Walt Clyde Frazier, followed by Willis Reed, followed by, I won't see Earl of Pearl because I think Earl of Pearl's best years were in Baltimore. But sure, I like Dollar Bill Bradley. I like Dave DeBusschere, that whole crew. But if I had to, okay, Walt Frazier, Clyde, Willis Reed, then BK, and then Patrick Ewing. Yeah, I would say that. Walt Clyde Frazier, Willis Reed, BK, Patrick Ewing. And then right under them, Latrell Sprewell. Right under them, Latrell. Latrell is my street deuce. Latrell is my West 4th Street on that team. Latrell. I'll go with Latrell on that. Oh, yeah. Well, he ain't going to play. Leprechaun ain't playing Coach House. They ain't playing him, but they trying to win for. They want that top pick. Oh, yeah. BK was a bad man, though. His brother they thought his brother was going to be. You remember his brother's son, right? Albert. They thought Albert was going to be better, but nah. Albert was nice, but BK was that dude, man. Any given night, he'll drop 40 on you. Any given night. And there was nothing you could do about it. You just better hope he was off that night. But Ewing was a damn warrior. But for me to put Clyde, because he got 2 chips. Willis Reed got 2 chips. BK, just to me, he got robbed, man, because if he didn't hurt his knee, nobody can mess with BK. Nobody can mess with him, man. Forget it. BK was all that. And then the warrior, Patrick Ewing. To me, the Knicks did Ewing wrong because all they had to do was get one more stud next to Ewing. That's all they had to do. Ewing was drafted to be a defensive star. He was not drafted to be a high scorer like he was. He was drafted to be a defensive rebounding fool because that's what he was at Georgetown. They needed to get another dude. After BK was gone, I would have focused. I'd have looked to wherever I had to look and get another guy, a wing top dude that would have been the guy next to him. I'd have tried my best to get somebody like that. And there was a lot of guys they could have got. I don't know. I mean, they tried, I don't know. They didn't. Michael Ray Richardson, drug addict, he flamed out. BK hurt his knee. He flamed out. Then when Patrick Ewing was finished, they went and tried to get the boy from Denver, and that, he hurt his knee, and that flamed out. It was just too late. Yeah, Sprewell came when Ewing was past his prime. Yeah. BK was a dude, man. He was a real problem, man. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Well, they couldn't kept King and Negro because he was hurt for 2 years. It wasn't. Yeah, they tried to get McDyess. It was too late, but they couldn't have kept King. It wasn't like you looking back. He wasn't there. They couldn't keep King. They couldn't keep him. 2 years they were waiting for him, and he finally came back with Washington, but it took 3 years for him to come back. So, yeah, no, they couldn't have kept King, but they should have went and got somebody else that was a stud at the 3 spot. They should have got some other dude that was a stud at 3 spot. Somebody in his prime. I would have clean house and start with them, So, and they had the opportunity because they drafted Mark Jackson in 87, I think it was 87, 88. So they could have started with Mark Jackson and Ewing and then go get a stud from someplace and then build around, So, yeah. Yeah, BK was that dude, man. There was no doubt. From even if you remember at Tennessee, they called it the Bernie and Ernie show. I'm just saying they need to have a white hope in there, but Ernie wasn't all that. But BK was that dude. Even at Tennessee, he was that dude. And BK was a wino. He was a wino until he got to the Knicks. He was a wino when he was out. He was the Nets. He was a wino, and they sent him to Golden State. He was a wino. He was a wino. But when we got cleaned up there and he came to New York and he wanted to start fresh and do the right thing, and he did. He did. So, yeah, but, they couldn't have kept him. They couldn't have kept him. Yeah, but BK he was a guy you want to pay to see. I'm trying to tell you. The highlights on YouTube don't do justice. You had to see BK. Nobody could mess with him. Jordan couldn't mess with him. Bird couldn't mess with him. Mikal couldn't mess with him. Magic couldn't mess with him. You got BJ going, you was going to have a rough night. You really was. It was just like that. So. No, serial killer. That was a long time later. That was later. Charles Barkley left Philly in the 90s. He got drafted in the 84 draft, but he left Philly in the 90s. Now, plus at that time, he was fat most of the time. He got in shape 1 year and he was MVP. Barkley was a walk-in, donut hole. He was fat. He was eating pizzas by the dozens. He decided to hire a personal trainer 1 year and he got in shape, and that's when he got the MVP, but you couldn't get Charles Barkley, and you couldn't get nobody off the Celtics. There wasn't. But there was some guy they could have got, like Adrian Dantley, somebody like that, because Detroit traded Adrian Dantley to go get Mark Aguirre, and Adrian Dantley was in his prime. Okay, they could have won the chip with Adrian Dantley, but Isaiah Thomas wanted his Chicago homie Aguirre to be with him in Detroit. And they wanted chip, and Dantley handled it with class. They sent him out there to Utah. But I'm talking about you could have got a Dantley. You could have got somebody like that. That'd have been that, man. But so yeah. Rest in peace, Dad. Rest in peace, man. Rest in peace. But yeah, Barkley wasn't a guy you would have wanted to try to get. There was a risk there, but no. But you could have got a guy like a Dantley. There was a couple of guys that were out at that time. You could have gotten on the free agent market or trade market. They just wasn't trying hard enough. They were trying to surround Ewing, which they did with Oakley, and 1 year Xavier McDaniel, and then they had defenders. They surrounded him with which is cool. And Pat Riley turned them into the whole team into a defensive monster. But they needed one more go-to guy, one more guy like a sidekick, like a Scotty, somebody that could have got them, over the top. Yeah, exactly. Blackman was finished. Harper was old, but he was still playing good. They even had Doc Rivers on that team, but they really needed another stud. And I would have searched high and low to get a young stud in his prime to pair with Ewing at that time. So, but they didn't do it, so it is what it is. It's not Ewing's fault they didn't win a chip. It's the Knicks management fault, in my view. You can't just no. Rolando Blackman was finished. He wasn't going to help you. Right, Chris Mullin. See, right. Hill meets World. That's bringing the guy like Mullin back to New York at that time. That's something. I would have moved heaven and earth to get Mullin. I would have did everything I could do to get Chris Mullin. He would have come too, man. That'd have been, man, please. I've been doing everything I could to get Chris Mullin. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, Chris Mullin, now he was available. He was a guy you could have got. Somebody like that. That's what I'm talking about. Now that's a name, man. You really, that's a name right there. That's a name right there. Yeah, Chris Mullin was a bit of a wino, but again, he cleaned himself up and made the All-Star team. So Mullin could shoot with the best of them. I mean, I would have to put him top 10 definitely shooters of all time, Chris Mullin. Definitely. Top 10 shooters of all time. Top 10. I wouldn't say he was one or two, because you're talking about Stephen Curry, you're talking about Mahmoud Abdul Rauf, you're talking about Ray Allen, you're talking about Thompson, you're talking about some great shooters. But Chris Mullin is definitely top 10. Definitely top 10. Yeah, is that what it was this week? Because they should have went and got somebody to pair with you and they'd win some chips, man. Yeah, man. Oh, yeah. Chris Mullin at St. John's was all that. Him, I think he played with Walter Berry. Yes, he did. I think Chris Mullin played with Walter Berry. He was out there with Walter Berry. And Walter Berry was another left-handed dude that was bad news too, man. He was another wino. Walter Berry was a wino, but he was a bad man. He was a bad man. He was a bad man. Yeah, at that time, the wino problem wasn't as bad as the cocaine problem, like what happened to Michael Ray Richardson. The cocaine and the crack problem, the pipe problem, that was bad. It was bad then. It was bad. But the wino problem wasn't so bad. If you just having some wine and some beer, which is what Walter Berry, Chris Mullin, Bernard King, that's what they would do. Yeah, so. Mark Macon didn't play for UMass. Mark Macon didn't play for UMass. I think Mark Macon played for Temple, right? I was there with Camby. I was there. It was Camby. They had these dudes from Puerto Rico. They were born on the same day. They had Lou Rowe. They had another dude from Philly. We called him Big Nasty. I forgot his name. He would average 20 rebounds a game in high school. Then they had Michael something Dingle. He was about 6'6" forward. They had basically a decent team. It was Camby that was really the man on that team. And Camby as a collegian was all that. He really was. He was the game changer. Vin Baker is more of a stretch four. Camby was never a stretch. Camby was the rim protector. Vin Baker was more of a stretch four type of guy. Now, he had a bad wino problem. That's what cost him his career. Vin Baker dove in that bottle deep. Dana Dingle, that's right, Mr. Williams, that's right. Dana Dingle, nice boy, too. Dana Dingle, Lou Rowe, they had a guy from Harvard, Michael Williams. Vitale used to call him the PTPer. He was a bad man, but he was always in trouble with Calipari. Calipari would bench him, sit him, suspend him. Then he come off the bench and drop 20 and win a game. But yeah, Michael Williams from Harvard. He was a bad man too. But yeah, they had a nice team at UMass. They had a nice team. And I got to see a lot of their parents. Nice people, man. Parents are nice people. They're two Puerto Rican boys that started in the backcourt. I forgot their name. They were good too. They were pretty good. They weren't as good as like a legend, Puerto Rican legend, Butch Lee. That was one of my all-time favorite guards that I watched, Butch Lee. He played for Marquette. He was a bad man. He played for the Puerto Rican team in the Olympics. Yeah, he was a bad man. Butch Lee. Y'all just passed some of y'all prime, but Butch Lee was a bad man. And so, but they had these two Puerto Rican boys. They were good at UMass. They were good. Yep, Dana Dingle. Yep, they were good. Yeah, Butch Lee, man, he was a bad man. Butch Lee was a bad man. They won the chip at Marquette. They won the chip at Marquette. I think that's the only chip Marquette won. Butch Lee, and he had a big man in the middle. I forgot his name, but yeah, Butch Lee was the man. He was the tournament MVP. He was a bad man. Butch Lee was a bad man. No, I seen him. He was a bad man. You talk about footwork. He had that Brunson style footwork at the college level. He never made it to the pros, but at the college level, he was a bad man. Yep. Yeah, he was Rican, man. Butch Lee was Rican. And the two guards that UMass started that year with Camby, I forgot their name. They were Rican. Both of them were Rican. And they were born on the exact same day. That was so crazy. They were born on the same day. They were both Rican, and they started together. Yeah, I forgot their name, though. But yeah, they had a nice team, man. They had a nice team. Of all time, man, bro, my favorite college player of all time. That's hard. I don't know. There's a lot of great players in college, man. A lot of great players. A lot of great players in college that didn't make it to the pros, like Butch Lee. I would say Butch Lee is definitely one of my top five. Butch Lee is definitely one of my top five college all-time players in college all-time. Butch Lee. I never saw Lou Alcindor play college, and I never saw. I was around. I was 12 when Bill Walton was playing for UCLA, but I never watched college basketball at that time, so I didn't really see him. I was watching pros at that time. But I'm trying to, if I can. Oh wait, I got to put Kenny Anderson in there at Georgia Tech. Kenny Anderson, I got to put Kenny Anderson in there. Kenny Anderson was a bad man, bad man. Okay, ask the dudes from Duke. Kenny Anderson was a bad man. Yeah, Chris Jackson, who later became Mahmoud Abdul Rauf, bad man. He scored 50 in college before there was a 3-point line. He was a bad man. Damn, he was bad. And Kenny Anderson, I seen him put a move on Bobby Hurley. I mean, damn. No. I was friends of Marcus Camby and his family. I knew Marcus's mother. I knew his two sisters. I knew Marcus, and so I was a friend. I would go to the games with Marcus' mother. That's how I was familiar with UMass. I would go to the games with Marcus' mother from Hartford. Yeah, there was a Hartford crew up there. There was Marcus' mother. There was Mike Williams' mother and his father. They were nice people, man. Per Washington, no. I'm not saying he wasn't nice, but if you're talking about Chris Jackson, Kenny Anderson, Butch Lee, no. I like Per Washington. He was a bad dude too, but nah, I can't put him with them. Derek Coleman, maybe? Not Walter Berry. Derek Coleman, I would say maybe. I'll never forget. I think he grabbed 19 boards in the final. Yeah, I think he grabbed 9. Derek Coleman was a bad man in college. Could have been a bad man in pro. I think he started getting paid. That was it. Oh yeah, I didn't get to see a lot of Len Bias. I wasn't watching a lot of college ball when Len Bias was around. I heard about him, but I never saw him. Yeah. Sadiq Bey done for the season? I don't think so. I think you're a year behind. Sir. I don't think so. Let me see. Now you're gonna get me to checking. Let me see. Sadiq Bey done for the season? No, Sadiq Bey. Here's the headline. Sadiq Bey leads fourth quarter comeback as Pelicans defeat Grizzlies 133-127. I think you're a year behind, sir. That was last year's news. Sadiq is back. Yeah. Oh yeah, Ralph Sampson. But I would rank Ewing ahead of Sampson. Sampson never won a chip in college. Ewing was in the Final Four all 4 years in college. They won one, I think, but they were in the Final Four all 4 years that he was in college. Freshman year, they lost to North Carolina. Junior year, I forgot who lost, but I think his junior year they won the chip. But he was in the Final Four. That's what if you want somebody that makes a program money, that's Ewing, because he had them in the Final Four all 4 years he was there. Tim Duncan was also. Tim Duncan scared me because he was better than Marcus, and I hated when they played each other. Because I knew Duncan was better. I couldn't say it at the time because Marcus was my boy, but Duncan was better. The boy was better. It was a junior year. Okay, yeah. So he was in at Final Four all 4 years. And look, Georgetown ain't had nobody. Reggie Williams couldn't shoot. He couldn't shoot with a paperback. They had a bunch of nobodies. At Victor Page was good. Unfortunately, he had bad afterlife. Victor Page was good, but they really didn't have nobody except for Ewing and the discipline that Thompson put on that team, and he took them to the Final Four every year, man. So I give it to Ewing over Sampson. Sampson he had better teams at Virginia, didn't go to the Final Four, So I give Ewing that head, man, for real. Yeah. Larry Johnson also. See, yeah. Larry Johnson, before he hurt his back, people don't know Larry Johnson had some serious, serious hops. People don't know that. When he hurt his back, he changed the way he played the game. Okay. He didn't use his athleticism as much. He used his strength when he hurt his back. But when he was at UNLV, he had the strength and the hops. He had hops, man. He had hops. I was disappointed that we drafted Anthony, though. I was like, what? Come on, man. I thought he was all right, but come on, first round draft pick for the Knicks, he had to do that. Yeah. You know, but yeah, great Anthony. Yeah, UNLV was bad. It was bad. And when they won the chip, it was like they just blew everybody out straight through. There was no competition. That year they won the chip, there was no competition. They blew everybody out, man. Yes, I agree, serial killer. He was Zion before Zion. He really was. I agree with that. And, look, he hurt his back. His lower back was hurt. And he changed his game, and he was reliable. Zion, man, you give him a donut and a hangnail, he ain't playing. You know what I'm saying? Give him a donut and a hangnail, homie ain't playing. But LJ was there. And LJ signed at the time one of the biggest contracts in history. At that time, nobody was getting $100 million. He got a $120 million deal to feed his 12 kids away. Homie had at least 12, 14 kids from different women, man. LJ was reproducing, and he was paying. He was paying. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He was paying. Sherman Douglas, the general, man, he was bad. Sherman Douglas from Syracuse. He was nice. And he played a long time for the Boston Celtics after that. He had a nice career. I wouldn't say he's one of my greatest college players, though. But he was solid. Definitely a great college player. And a solid pro. Sherman Douglas. Solid pro. Mellow in college. And listen, anytime you're a freshman and you take the chip in college with very little help, that's why I don't think it's fair that G.A.M.E is being compared to Melo. That's not fair. Melo was on a different level. He really was on a different level at college. He was on a different level, man. G.A.M.E is not that, I'm not saying he won't be a great player, but he ain't his daddy. Not right now. He ain't his daddy. Yeah, Sherman Douglas was nice at Syracuse. They had a nice team, Syracuse. For a few years. Before even they got Sherman Douglas was before Derek Coleman, wasn't he? I think he was. Sherman Douglas, Eric Sandifer. Remember these guys? Ronnie Cycli. They had a nice team, man. Yeah. No, I didn't see a documentary of the Big East. No, I didn't see it. I remember when they created the Big East, Dave Gavitt was the commissioner of the Big East. And originally it was St. John's. They called it the Catholic Seven. I think it was Syracuse, Boston College, St. John's. Who else? It was like 5 or 7 Catholic teams, Catholic school teams. It was Georgetown, Seton Hall. That's right. Seton Hall, Providence, St. John, Syracuse, Pittsburgh, right. I don't think Pittsburgh's a Catholic team, but yeah, they were originally in there. You're right. And then there was another team in there. Damn, who else was it? But yeah, you're right. You got the Seton Hall. I forgot about Providence. That's right. Seton Hall, Providence, St. John's, Georgetown, Syracuse, Villanova. There you go. Thank you. Villanova. That's right. I met him once. He was recruiting my brother. PJ Carlissimo. He was recruiting my brother. I don't think Louisville was originally in this. They came in later, Malik. I don't think there was the original crew, though. The original crew was everybody was saying Seton Hall, Providence, Villanova, St. John's, Georgetown, Syracuse, Boston College. Boston College was one of them. Boston College was one of them original ones. Yep. They Boston College. Yep. They had about 7. They called it the Catholic 7 or something like that. Yeah. And Dave Gavitt was Dana Barrows went to Boston College. Rick Pitino, I don't know where he was coaching at that time. He hadn't come to Kentucky yet. No, Rick Pitino was coaching Providence. Rick Pitino was coaching Providence. Yeah, he was coaching Providence. Massimino was in Villanova. John Thompson was at Georgetown. You still have Boeheim over there in Syracuse. Luke Carnesecca in St. John's. I forgot who was coaching Seton Hall. No, it was the dude that got choked. The Deuce Freewell choked. He was just doing the game with the Knicks yesterday. What's that boy name? Y'all know who I'm talking about. He was coaching Seton Hall. What's that boy name yesterday? Oh, God. Freewell tried to choke his head. PJ Carlissimo, right. PJ Carlissimo. He was coaching Seton Hall. You had, that's right, Carlissimo coaching Seton Hall. You had Patino at Providence. You had, I forgot who was coaching Boston College. But then you had John Thompson, Lou Carnesecca. I remember them. That's when the Big East first started. That's when they first formed it. It was like, I want to say it was either the late 70s or early 80s. It was that's right. Calhoun at UConn. That's right. Was Calhoun there when they started, though? I think Calhoun came later, right? Calhoun came in like the late 80s, I want to say. I think somebody else was there. Somebody else was there before Calhoun. Somebody else was there. And in fact, I don't think UConn was one of the original Big East teams. I think UConn was in the same league as UMass at first. I think they was together, UMass and UConn. That was later they came. I think they came later. Yeah, so it was Georgetown, Syracuse. Those are the big ones. Providence, Seton Hall, St. John's. That, you know what? Yo, if you was watching basketball, and I used to watch college ball at that time, that was some serious. They played some serious games, man. And St. Joseph's wasn't in the Big East then. Villanova was. But see, St. Joseph Philly had its own, they called it the Big Five, I think. It was Villanova, St. Joseph, LaSalle, Temple, and there was another one. They called it the Big Five. There was Villanova. It was Villanova. It was all in Philly. Villanova, Temple, LaSalle, I forgot, St. Joseph's, and there was one more. I'm missing one more. I think Holy Cross and Rutgers was there, Armika. I think he was there. Holy Cross had Rod something. He was their star point guard. And Rutgers had a team that actually went to the Final Four. Yeah, I forgot who was coaching. Yeah, Pitino's now coaching St. John. But he used to coach when he first started, when he made his name, where he cut his teeth was at Providence. And you know who his star point guard was? Who was Pitino's star point guard at Providence? Y'all should know. Who was Pitino's star point guard at Providence? I mentioned his team today. Who Pitino's star point guard at Providence was? It was a man named Billy Donovan. Billy Donovan. That's right. Billy Donovan, man. I'm talking about when they first came out, when he was first. Later it was God Shamgar. I don't even know if he was there when God Shamgar came. But Billy Donovan was his boy at that time. Billy Donovan was his boy. And in fact, when Pitino came to the Knicks, he put Billy Donovan on the team. And everybody knew Billy Donovan was an NBA level player. He was an NBA level player. But Pitino put his boy down. People were saying, what is Billy Donovan doing on the team? And I heard one first guy say, man, this is hurting watching him trying to play pro ball. But he had Billy Donovan. That was his boy at Providence. That was his boy. That's right. That was his boy, man. Yo, I didn't watch his story, but I knew of Sebastian Telfair's story. And I understand, really, he should have went to Louisville, but I understand. He needed the money. So he took the $13 million from Adidas. I think it was Adidas guaranteeing him $13 million. And that was really where he went. And then he went to, if it was today, he'd have stayed in college and got NIL money, but he had to leave. And it was too soon for him to leave. That was a situation where his family needed the money. So I think he was drafted the last player in the first round by Portland. I think it was Portland was the last player in the first round. He was not ready for the league. He just wasn't ready for the league. He would have been if he'd have played with Pitino in Louisville for a couple of seasons. He would have been ready, but he wasn't ready at that time. But I understand he was trying to get the money for his family. That's what he was doing, man. There was a lot of, some of these cats got a lot of pressure on them, man. They really do. They got a lot of pressure. They're coming from nothing. Their families don't have much, and they're trying to help. And so there's a lot of pressure on them. Yeah. It's a lot of pressure on them. So that's what happened to Telfair, man. He's had a lot of pressure. Yeah, he cousins with Stefan. Stefan and him cousin. You know, Stefan, though. Stefan was bad in high school, and he was bad at Georgia Tech, and he was bad in the pros. I think Telfair's growth was stunted because he came out a little too soon. Now, Stefan came out after freshman, but Stefan was ready. After his freshman year, he was ready. You know, I remember I was at some place with Marcus Camby, and Stefan was there. And Stefan said, he asked Marcus, "You leaving?" And Marcus said, "Nah, not yet." And he said, "I'm out." That's Stefan was a little 6'2" dude, little young boy. And he said, "I'm out." He asked Marcus, he said, "You leaving?" Marcus said, "No, I don't think I'm leaving yet." Stefan said, "I'm out." And he was, man. Stefan was ready. He was a bad man. But anyway, yeah, he was ready, man. Did he marry a Chinese woman? I was wondering about that. Stefan got married? I could see him having a Chinese woman. Stefan too smart to get married, though. I don't know if he married her, though. You sure he married? You sure he married? Let me look this up. Stefan too smart for that. I don't know. Let me see. I don't think he married. I'll be surprised. Wang Yuling. He did marry. He said he married Chinese singer. Ooh, somebody got it. He had to pay some money. I know that. He can't play that. He had to play. He married her this year. Then you know. Married in April. Okay. You know what? You know what that's called? Prenup. I'm saying Stefan ain't stupid. Stefan been smart from the start. I'm trying to say. I thought he was a little young to be coming out from Georgia Tech. I knew he could ball, but he ain't stupid. He ain't taking no shorts, man. Stefan ain't taking no shorts. He is not. So Washington playing the Knicks in Washington next week. Is it next week? Yeah. I want to say, isn't it next week? Yeah, next week, Tuesday. I'm going to be at that game. They playing the Knicks. Next week, Tuesday. Let me make sure I got that right. The 3rd. That's my ticket for the 3rd. Hold on, let me just double check that. Yeah, next Tuesday. I'm going to be at the game. Next Tuesday, I'm going to be in Washington, D.C. Me and my baby, my baby. No, that's my oldest girl. Me and my oldest daughter. We're going to go to Clyde's, have dinner. And then we're going to go to the game. Yeah, we're definitely going to have fun. You're going to see it too. You're going to see it. We're going to be pre-gaming live. You know we're going to do business. We're going to be pre-gaming live. And she going to be going crazy. My girl is animated. I guess she gets it from her mama. We're going to have fun, though, for real. We're going to have fun. Yeah, so they playing the Knicks on the 3rd. Yeah. I won't count it as a W because that's kind of jinxing it. Y'all hear what I'm saying, right? Don't count it as no W. Got to go in there and take care of business, okay? It's a get right situation. Oh, yeah, we have fun. I got both my girls and my son-in-law. Last year, I took my son-in-law to this game. That's the game, y'all remember the Precious dunk last year? Precious put one down on somebody, had the whole stadium going nuts, had the whole Knicks bench going nuts, had everybody going nuts. I was at that game with my son-in-law. And my other daughter's not interested in sports. I'm going to have dinner with her Monday night. But then my other daughter, she watches it. So we're going to be there. We're going to be there on Tuesday night. Yeah. So we really, Clyde's in DC, man. We always go. That's my spot. I like the Clydes. We had one my wife and I like to go to in Virginia. They closed that one. Yeah, it was in oh God, I forgot where it was. But we like to go to this one in Virginia, but now we go to this one in DC. Yeah. The one in Virginia was much quieter. Much quieter, man. No, it's not closed, is it, son? Stop. It's not closed, is it? Nah, you crazy. Nah, don't say that. Let me see. Now you're gonna get me looking. Clyde's in Washington, D.C. No, it's not closed, man. See, you stop. See. You shouldn't do that to a brother. It's at Gallery Place, man. Yeah, it's open. Now you got me on here. I want to make a reservation. Oh, they had a Clyde's in NYC. I didn't know that. They had a Clyde's. I didn't even know Clyde's was in NYC. I didn't know it was there. With the one that I was talking about that closed was in Reston, Virginia. That's the one my wife and I used to go to, Reston. They got one also in oh God, they got one over there by on the other side. What's that? I forgot the name. Blue Line. It's on the Blue Line. But the one in Reston is the one we liked. And then this one in DC. We didn't really go there except I'm going to a game. Yeah. But we're gonna have some fun next week. Yeah. So this is the get right section of the schedule. This is both the revenge tour for the Knicks and the get right section of the schedule, because we got Sacramento. We just had revenge on Philly. It's got revenge on their ass, and now we got to get our revenge on Sacktown, and then we got Toronto. Then we beat Portland already, so we got to get our revenge on the Lakers. That's on next Sunday. Yeah, we got to get our revenge, man. Yeah, it's going to be tough, Coach Hauser. It's going to be tough. But look, games get tough, right? Tough get going. You know what I'm saying? We got to do it. We got to do. So let me see. We play a back-to-back between Sacramento and at Toronto. Then we get a night off and we play Portland. Then we get a night off and we play the Lakers. Then we get a night off and we go to Washington. And that's a back-to-back between Washington, D.C. and the fourth where we play Denver. So, yes, it's a bit rough. No doubt. It's a bit rough, but this is the get right part of the schedule. Let's do what we got to do, play this daggone defense. Now, one thing. Look, by the time we get to the 5th, right? By the time we get to the 5th, which is, we got a game on the 4th. You might have a new Knick by the 4th game of February. Certainly by February 6th. February 6th is a Friday. The Knicks play against Detroit. You're going to have a new Knick on your team by then. I don't know who's going to be. We talked about, and most of y'all like me, you're into Sadiq. I'm into Sadiq too. We have 169 votes. Sadiq wins by a mile. I'm into Sadiq. But you're going to have a new Knick, at least one, maybe two, by next week, Friday. You're going to have a new Knick on your team. So we'll see what the Knicks do. I'm hoping it's Sadiq. That would be really nice if we can get Sadiq Bey. That would be really nice. So next week is the deadline. We're going to have a new Knick on our team by the time we visit Detroit. Yes, he does, Coach Hauser. He really does. Sometimes we've seen him do it in December, right? The OG trade happened at the last day of December, something like that. So, yeah, he does something. He does usually get them done early. I agree with you, Coach Hauser. He doesn't wait till the deadline. He gets it done before that. So maybe by the 4th, next week, Wednesday, we'll have a new Knick on our team, if not sooner. We'll see. They're probably working that out right now. I think they are. And the Don got some up his sleeve. He don't let nobody know what he's doing. Everybody's just guessing. So, but I think we nailed the possibility. It's going to be Keon Ellis, Jeremy Soham, Sadiq Bey, Eve Missy with Alvarado. That's your dudes right there. I don't see anybody else. Oh, wait, let's not sleep on Najee Marshall. Najee Marshall too. So it could be Najee Marshall as well. I don't even think I included him in the poll because he's kind of an outsider too. So I don't know. Najee is a possibility also. I don't know what Dallas is doing, but we know they've been messing up on their trades for a while now, for a minute now, right? So messing up on free agents and trades, starting with Derek, with Jalen Brunson. So here, they ain't mess. Let's see what happens. We'll see. Me too, Lonnie. I want Precious. I ain't lying. But let's see what happens, man. Let's see what we could do. Let's see what we could do. Anyway. I want y'all to please enjoy the rest of your evening. I'm going to see what my wife is doing. Maybe we could take a little walk in this Florida evening. Yeah, we'll see, Coach Hodge. We'll see what we can do, man. We'll see. They're going to have to rebuild, though. They're going to have to rebuild. I don't know why they put any stock in Anthony Ambulance. I don't know. That was stupid. Anyway, we'll see. If they plan on building around Anthony Ambulance, they're gonna have to keep him because here come what's his name, Kyrie coming back. So we'll see. We'll see. Just in case, I don't think you heard the news, but they asked Precious. He's open to coming back to New York, and so we can don't worry about his ego. He's open to coming back, and if he comes back, the understanding will be that he's going to be in the rotation. So he's not coming back to be DNPCD. So especially the way he's playing. That's if they let him come back. I don't think it's about his ego. It might be about the Kings. They're cleaning house. I expect a lot of players to be in different uniforms from the Sacramento Kings this year before the deadline. I'm expecting a lot of movement from the Sacramento, especially with Levine and DeRozan. I'm expecting them to move both of those cats. They might even move Sabonis. I'm not thinking that's crazy. They move Sabonis, they move DeRozan, they move Levine, and they move on with life, and they rebuild, start over again with the kids. That's what I think they're going to do. So we'll see. All right. Please be safe, y'all, in Knick Nation. We always have fun here on the Raw Hebrews channel because this channel is about the Knicks and for the Knicks. We don't put up with no shorts. We don't put up with no BS. We about the Knicks and for the Knicks. Now, was it Tuesday night? The Knicks playing Sacramento. Let's get this dub, right? Let's get this dub. Do what we got to do. Yo, but I'm trying to boot people off because I want to get to the point we at today where we don't got no a-holes, no dummies coming in here trying to say everybody should have their opinion. Get the hell out of here. Go root for the Knicks. This is the Knicks channel. I don't want to hear your opinion about why Cat should be traded. That's right. Make this work or else. Stop all that smiling and jiving and let's do what we got to do. I think he got that memo. I think he did. Yeah, it's exactly, Javon. The flock out of here. Shalom, y'all. Please be safe out there. Shalom.